Welcome to my Culture Ambassador channel. Today, we're diving deep into, the fascinating world of Chinese traditional festivals. They're really more than just dates on the calendar. They're woven into, like, the fabric of Chinese life,
Yeah,
reflecting the country's rich history and beliefs and values.
exactly. These celebrations are like a vibrant tapestry. Each thread represents a unique aspect of Chinese culture. They kind of offer like a window into how people connect with their ancestors, their families, and even the seasons.
So let's start with the biggest one of all, Chinese New Year, also known as Spring Festival.
Right.
This is like the most important time of year for many Chinese people. And I've heard the festivities are just incredible.
Yeah, think of it like a massive nationwide party that lasts for days. It's all about, new beginnings, sweeping away the old, and welcoming good fortune in the year to come.
Wow, I can only imagine the energy. From what I've read, there are these vibrant dragon dances and the crackle of firecrackers and families gathering to make delicious dumplings.
Yeah, it sounds really immersive.
It does.
And those dumplings you mentioned, they're not just tasty treats. Their shape is said to resemble ancient Chinese currency, symbolizing wealth and prosperity.
Ah, so there's a deeper meaning behind the food too.
Yeah.
That's fascinating.
Yeah.
In 2025, Chinese New Year falls on January 29th. If you ever get the chance to experience it firsthand, I've heard it's an absolute must.
Oh, I couldn't agree more. After all that excitement of Chinese New Year, things kind of wind down with the Lantern Festival,
Uh,
which falls on February 12th in 2025.
Oh, right. This is the festival known for the breathtaking displays of
Yeah.
lanterns. I've seen pictures of these massive illuminated installations. They're stunning.
Yes, imagine walking through streets adorned with just billions of lanterns, each one casting a warm glow, creating these intricate patterns of light and shadow. And in recent years, they've even incorporated like modern technology with like dazzling drone shows
Wow.
that are synchronized with the lanterns.
Oh, that's amazing. It's amazing how they blend tradition and technology. But what's the deeper significance behind the Lantern Festival? I mean, is it just about pretty lights?
It's much more than that. The lanterns symbolize dispelling the darkness and welcoming the light, representing hope and renewal after the long winter. It's a beautiful way to end the Chinese New Year period.
It sounds really lovely. Now, from a celebration of light, we shift gears to a more somber occasion, the Qingming Festival, also known as Tomb Sweeping Day. This falls on April 5th in 2025.
Right. This festival is all about honoring one's ancestors and remembering those who came before. So families visit the graves of their loved ones. They clean the tombstones and make offerings. It's a time for reflection and remembrance.
It sounds similar to some remembrance traditions in other cultures,
Yeah.
like the Day of the Dead in Mexico.
Exactly. There's this universal human impulse to connect with, those who have passed on and keep their memory alive. But what's interesting about Qingming is that it's not entirely somber.
Yeah, I read that many families also use this occasion to enjoy spring picnics amidst beautiful scenery. It's like they're finding a balance between, honoring the past and embracing the present.
Yeah, you've hit the nail on the head. It's a reminder that life goes on. And while we remember those who are gone, we also got to, cherish the life that we have now.
Next up, we have a festival that seems full of energy and competition, the Dragon Boat Festival. This one falls on May 31st in 2025.
Yeah, the Dragon Boat Festival is a spectacle. You won't want to miss this. Imagine these vibrantly decorated boats, shaped like dragons, each powered by teams of, synchronized rowers, paddling furiously to reach the finish line.
I've seen videos of these races, and they're so intense. The crowds are cheering, the drums are beating. The energy is it's palpable.
Yeah.
But there's got to be more to it than just the race, right?
Yeah, you're absolutely right. The Dragon Boat Festival commemorates the life and death of Kuai Yuan, of a patriotic poet and minister who lived during the Warring States period. He was known for his integrity and loyalty to his state.
So this festival is tied to a specific historical figure. What happened to him?
Well, Kuai Yuan was falsely accused of treason, and in despair, he drowned himself in the Milo River. The dragon boat races and the tradition of eating rice dumplings during this festival are said to have originated from people's attempts to search for his body in the river
Yeah.
and appease his spirit.
Wow, that's a really powerful story. It really adds a whole new layer of meaning to the Dragon Boat Festival. It's not just about athletic competition. It's about remembering this figure who stood for something, whose legacy continues, centuries later.
Exactly. It shows how these festivals often have like, multiple layers of meaning, blending history, legend, cultural values into a single event.
Okay, let's move on to a festival that's all about love and romance. Double Seventh Day, which falls on August 29th in 2025. I know it's also referred to as Chinese Valentine's Day, but what makes it unique?
Well, it's rooted in this beautiful and enduring love story, the tale of the Weaver Girl and the cowherd. It's a legend that's been passed down for
Oh
generations.
yeah, I'm familiar with the basic story, but could you refresh my memory on the details?
Of course, the Weaver Girl, Xinu, was a celestial princess, skilled in weaving these beautiful fabrics. The cowherd, Nulong, was a humble but kind-hearted mortal. They fell deeply in love and secretly married, but their happiness was short-lived.
Why is that? Forbidden love, perhaps?
Exactly. The goddess of heaven. Janu's mother was furious that her daughter married a mortal. She banished Xinu back to heaven and created a celestial river, the Milky Way, to separate the
That's
lovers.
so tragic. But I know they're allowed to meet once a year, right?
Yeah. Yes, moved by their love and devotion, the goddess allowed them to reunite once a year on the seventh day of the seventh lunar month, which is why, it's called double seventh day. On this day, magpies are said to form a bridge across the Milky Way, allowing the lovers to meet.
Oh, that's so romantic. It's
Yeah.
like a cosmic love story, reminding us that even the greatest obstacles can be overcome by love. Are there any specific traditions associated with this festival?
Well, traditionally, women would make offerings to Xenu, the Weaver Girl, praying for skills in needlework
Hmm.
and hoping to find a good husband. It was kind of a blend of romantic aspirations and practical wishes for a happy life.
That's interesting. It's like they were seeking blessings not just for love, but for like a fulfilling life in general.
Precisely. And even though, the way people celebrate might have evolved over time, the core themes of love and devotion and the longing for connection remain at the heart of Double Seventh Day.
Now, shifting gears again, let's talk about the Mid Autumn Festival, or the Mooncake Festival,
Right.
which falls on October 6th in 2025. I have to admit, this one immediately piqued my interest because of those delicious sounding mooncakes.
Ah, yes, the mooncakes. They're an integral part of this celebration. But the Mid Autumn Festival is about much more than just delicious treats.
What else is it about?
It's a time for family reunions, for appreciating the beauty of the full moon, and for giving thanks for the harvest. It's a very heartwarming and joyous occasion.
I can imagine, families gathering under the moonlight,
Hmm.
sharing mooncakes, exchanging stories. It sounds pretty idyllic.
It it is, and the full moon plays a central role in the symbolism of the festival. It represents completeness and unity, bringing people together, just as the moon's gravitational pull affects the tides, connecting us all.
So there's a connection to nature as well. It seems like many of these festivals are rooted in this, deep respect for the natural world and the cycles of life.
You're right. The Chinese calendar is closely tied to the seasons, and many festivals are aligned with agricultural cycles, marking these important points in the year. The Mid Autumn Festival is a prime example, celebrating the harvest and the abundance of autumn.
Speaking of seasonal cycles, let's
Right.
talk about the two solstice festivals.
Yeah.
We've got the winter solstice, which falls on January 5th in 2025, and the summer solstice on June 21st.
Right. These festivals mark the shortest and longest days of the year, respectively, and they represent this deep understanding of the cyclical nature of time and the interplay of light and darkness.
I'm intrigued by how different cultures mark these, astronomical events in their own ways.
Yeah.
What are some of the Chinese customs associated with the solstices?
Well, during the winter solstice, families traditionally gather to enjoy these heartwarming dishes like dumplings and tang wen. It's a time to stay warm, cherish family bonds, and look forward to the return of longer days.
So it's like a celebration of warmth and togetherness during the coldest time of year. What about the summer solstice? Is it a more outward celebration, embracing the long daylight hours?
You could say that while there aren't specific rituals or foods associated with the summer solstice in modern times. It's still acknowledged as this, significant point in the year, representing the peak of yang energy according to traditional Chinese cosmology.
So it's more about recognizing this natural phenomenon and its significance in the grand scheme of things.
Exactly. It's a reminder to pay attention to the rhythms of nature and how they influence our lives.
Now, let's move on to a festival that sounds particularly vibrant. The Double Ninth Festival, also known as Chongyang Festival, which takes place on October 29th in 2025.
Right.
This festival is full of interesting traditions.
Yeah.
One of the most prominent is the custom of enjoying chrysanthemums, which are in full bloom during this time of year.
Right.
I love chrysanthemums. Their colors are so rich and varied,
Mm-hmm.
and they just seem to represent autumn perfectly. But what's the significance of chrysanthemums in this festival?
Well, they symbolize longevity and good fortune. People admire their beauty, drink chrysanthemum tea and even use them to make wine. It's all about, embracing the beauty of nature and appreciating the simple pleasures in life.
I can see why that would be appealing, especially as the days get shorter and the weather turns colder. Are there any other customs associated with this festival?
Yeah. Another popular tradition is climbing mountains. It's a way to enjoy the crisp autumn air, take in, breathtaking views, and perhaps even feel closer to the heavens.
It's interesting how they combine appreciation for nature with a bit of physical activity.
Yeah, it's a wonderful way to spend time with family and friends, enjoying the outdoors before winter sets in.
Now we've covered a lot of ground, but we can't wrap up this deep dive without talking about the Hungry Ghost Festival, which falls on September 6th in 2025. This one always seems to intrigue people, perhaps because it deals with our fascination with the afterlife.
Yeah, the Hungry Ghost Festival is definitely unique. It's observed primarily during the seventh lunar month, and focuses on remembering and honoring the deceased.
I've heard that some people consider this month to be unlucky because the gates of the underworld are said to open, allowing spirits to roam the earth.
Mm-hmm.
Is there any truth to that?
Well, it's more about acknowledging that there's this, realm beyond our physical world, and that we have a responsibility to remember those who have passed on. It's not about fear, but about respect and ensuring the spirits are at peace.
So how is this respect demonstrated during the Hungry Ghost Festival?
Well, families make offerings of food and burn incense, both to appease the spirits and to show their continued love and care. They believe that these actions can help ease the spirit's journey in the afterlife.
It's like they're trying to ensure a smooth passage for their loved ones, even in the realm beyond this life.
Exactly. It reflects this deep-seated belief in the enduring bonds of family that extend beyond physical existence.
It's fascinating how these traditions offer glimpses into different cultural perspectives on life and death, and the connection between the two.
It certainly gives us something to think about.
So we've journeyed through a year of Chinese festivals, experiencing the joy of new beginnings, the thrill of competition, the magic of romance, the warmth of family, the reverence for ancestors, and the awe-inspiring connection to the cycles of nature.
Yeah, it's been quite a journey, and I think what strikes me most is how these festivals aren't just isolated events, but rather like threads that weave together this rich tapestry of cultural meaning and shared experience.
You're right. They really do offer us a window into how Chinese culture views the world, the importance of family and community, the relationship between humans and nature, and the enduring power of tradition.
And I think what's also fascinating is how tradition and modernity kind of coexist in these celebrations. We see it in the Lantern Festival with its ancient roots and modern drone displays, or in how younger generations are finding new ways to connect with these age-old customs.
Exactly. These festivals are living traditions, constantly evolving while still honoring their core values. They're a testament to the enduring spirit of Chinese culture.
Yeah.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, what are some key takeaways that you'd like our listener to consider?
Well, first and foremost, I hope that this exploration has sparked a curiosity to learn more. These festivals are just the tip of the iceberg when it comes to understanding, Chinese culture.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, I agree. Each festival has layers upon layers of history and
Yeah.
symbolism and cultural nuances that we've only just begun to uncover.
Right.
Secondly, I think it's crucial to recognize that even though these traditions might seem different from our own, they reflect universal human desires. The need for connection, the longing for love, the respect for those who came before us, and the search for meaning in the cycles of life and nature.
Beautifully said. By understanding and appreciating, these different cultural expressions, we ultimately gain a deeper understanding